the Top 10 US Presidents Edition. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into American history to rank the top 10 presidents of the United States. From the founding fathers to modern leaders, we'll be exploring their accomplishments, their struggles, and their lasting impact on the nation and the world. Ranking presidents is a bit like saying, what's the best flavor of ice cream? It's subjective. Everyone has their own criteria, their own priorities, and their own historical figures they connect with. This isn't about declaring one president objectively better than another, but rather about appreciating the complexities of their presidencies and sparking a conversation about what leadership means in the context of American history. So buckle up, grab your pocket constitution, and get ready for some presidential trivia because we're about to embark on a wild ride through the Oval Office. Stay tuned to see if your favorite commander-in-chief made the cut. All right, let's kick things off with the big guy himself, George Washington. Washington wasn't just the first president. He was practically the architect of the presidency. He had to invent the rules of the game as he went along. And let's not forget his leadership during the Revolutionary War. Washington's impact on shaping the early years of the United States is undeniable. Coming in at number 9 is the man who penned the words that echoed across centuries. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence, was a complex figure with an undeniable impact on American history. As president, Jefferson oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the nation's size. He championed limited government and individual liberty, principles still resonant today. Jefferson grappled with slavery, a moral stain, making his legacy a subject of debate. Yet Jefferson was a visionary leader who helped shape the nation's identity. Abraham Lincoln, the man who led the nation through its darkest hour, takes the 8th spot on our list. The Civil War tested the very fabric of American democracy, threatening to tear the nation apart at its seams. Lincoln's unwavering commitment to preserving the Union, coupled with his eloquence and moral clarity, proved instrumental in guiding the country through this tumultuous period. His Gettysburg Address remains one of the most powerful and moving speeches in American history, a testament to the enduring power of his words. And of course, we can't forget the Emancipation Proclamation, a document that struck a blow against the institution of slavery and helped pave the way for the eventual abolition of this horrific practice. Lincoln's legacy is forever intertwined with the fight for freedom and equality, and his leadership during this pivotal era solidified his place as one of America's most revered presidents. Chapter 4. Speak softly and carry a big stick. That was the motto of our 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt, a man who certainly knew how to command attention. Roosevelt bursts onto our list at number 7, known for his boundless energy, his passion for conservation, and his belief in what he called the strenuous life. He was a champion of progressive ideals, taking on powerful corporations with his trust-busting policies and advocating for the rights of workers and consumers. Roosevelt's presidency marked a turning point in American history, ushering in an era of greater government regulation and social responsibility. He recognized the need to balance the interests of big business with the needs of everyday Americans, and his legacy continues to inspire those who fight for economic justice and environmental protection. Plus, he had a cool mustache. Chapter 5. Our 32nd president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or FDR as he's often called, takes the 6th spot on our list. FDR led the nation through two of the greatest crises in its history, the Great Depression and World War II. Talk about trial by fire. His New Deal programs, while controversial, provided much-needed relief to millions of Americans struggling during the Depression. He expanded the role of the federal government in people's lives, creating programs like Social Security that continue to provide a safety net for Americans today. During World War II, FDR rallied the American people and played a pivotal role in the Allied victory. His leadership during these tumultuous times demonstrated his unwavering belief in the strength and resilience of the American spirit. FDR's presidency left an indelible mark on the nation, shaping the role of government and redefining America's place in the world. Chapter 6. John F. Kennedy, or JFK as he's popularly known, claims the fifth spot on our list. Kennedy's presidency was tragically cut short, but in his brief time in office, he captured the imagination of the nation with his youthful idealism and his vision of a new frontier. He challenged Americans to reach for the impossible, famously declaring, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." His commitment to the space race ignited a national fervor for exploration and scientific advancement. Kennedy also confronted the looming threat of nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis, demonstrating remarkable composure and leadership during one of the most dangerous moments in human history. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Americans to strive for excellence and to embrace the challenges of a changing world. Chapter 7-4. Ronald Reagan, the Great Communicator. Ronald Reagan, the Great Communicator, lands in the fourth spot on our countdown. Reagan's presidency marked a turning point in American politics, ushering in an era of conservative resurgence. His economic policies, dubbed Reaganomics, emphasized tax cuts, deregulation, and a reduction in the size of government. Whether you agree with his policies or not, there's no denying that they had a profound impact on the American economy and continue to be debated today. On the world stage, Reagan adopted a hardline stance against the Soviet Union, famously calling it the evil empire. His presidency coincided with the fall of the Berlin Wall and the eventual collapse of the Soviet Union, marking the end of the Cold War. Reagan's legacy remains a subject of much discussion and debate, but there's no denying his impact on shaping the political landscape of the late 20th century. Chapter 8. Number 3, Dwight D. Eisenhower, A Legacy of Infrastructure and Peace. Coming in at number 3 is Dwight D. Eisenhower, a man who knew a thing or two about leadership, having commanded Allied forces in Europe during World War II. As president, Eisenhower brought a steady hand to the helm, navigating the challenges of the Cold War with a combination of strength and diplomacy. He recognized the importance of a strong national defense, but also cautioned against the dangers of what he famously termed the military-industrial complex. Domestically, Eisenhower oversaw a period of economic prosperity and championed the construction of the interstate highway system, a massive infrastructure project that transformed American transportation and commerce. He may not have been the flashiest president, but Eisenhower's calm demeanor and his commitment to bipartisanship helped guide the nation through a turbulent era. His legacy reminds us that sometimes the most effective leadership comes from those who seek common ground and prioritize pragmatic solutions. Chapter 9. Number 2, Woodrow Wilson, A Progressive Vision, A World in Conflict. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th President of the United States, claims the second spot on our list. Wilson led the nation through World War I, advocating for a vision of international cooperation and collective security that he hoped would prevent future global conflicts. He championed the creation of the League of Nations, a precursor to the United Nations, although the United States ultimately did not join the League. Domestically, Wilson was a progressive reformer, enacting legislation aimed at addressing issues like child labor, monopolies, and banking reform. His presidency was marked by both significant achievements and profound challenges, including the United States' entry into World War I and the fight for women's suffrage. Wilson's legacy reminds us that even with the best of intentions, achieving lasting peace and progress requires navigating complex international dynamics and overcoming deep-seated societal divisions. Chapter 10. Number 1, Harry S. Truman, The Buck Stops Here. Our number 1 pick for the most impactful U.S. president is Harry S. Truman. Truman assumed the presidency after Franklin D. Roosevelt's death during World War II. He decided to use atomic bombs against Japan, ending the war but sparking controversy. Truman shaped the post-war world order. He implemented the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe and counter Soviet influence. He also oversaw the creation of NATO, a military alliance. Truman's presidency was defined by consequential decisions and a commitment to American leadership. Well, there you have it. Our whirlwind tour of the most impactful U.S. presidents is complete. From the Founding Fathers to the Cold War warriors, each of these leaders left their mark on the nation and the world. Remember, this list is just a starting point for conversation. Ranking presidents is a complex and subjective endeavor, and there's no definitive right or wrong answer. What matters most is that we engage with history, learn from the past, and consider the qualities we value most in our leaders. So tell us in the comments below, who do you think belongs on this list? Who did we miss? And most importantly, what qualities do you believe make for a truly great president? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future explorations of history, culture, and all things awesome.